When human rights are under attack, what do you do? Stand up, fight back! When Mother Earth is under attack, what do you do? Stand up, fight back! When civil rights are under attack, what do you do? Stand up, fight back! Our homes are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Education is under attack, what do you do? Stand up, fight back! The unions are under attack, what do you do? Stand up, fight back! The workers are under attack, what do you do? Stand up, fight back! Our families are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Communities are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Tell me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! Tell me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! Tell me what the people look like! This is what the people look like! Tell me what the workers look like! This is what the workers look like! Tell me what the students look like! This is what the students look like! Tell me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! Tell me what dignity looks like! This is what dignity looks like! Tell me what dignity looks like! This is what dignity looks like!
Hey, we should have timed it when the news was live, you know what I mean? What's occupied? People over profit. What time is it?
Hello?
Banks got bailed out! We got sold out! 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 When I say occupy, you say Phoenix occupy!
Phoenix!
Occupy!
Phoenix!
When I say occupy, you say Wall Street occupy!
Wall Street!
Occupy!
Wall Street!
When I say human, you say right! Human!
Right!
Human!
Right!
When I say civil, you say right! Civil!
Right!
Civil!
Right!
When I say people, you say power! People!
Power!
People!
Power!
Human rights are under attack! What do you do?
Stand up, fight back!
Civil rights are under attack! What do you do?
Stand up, fight back!
Our homes are under attack! What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Communities are under attack! What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Education is under attack! What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Our families are under attack!
Stand up, fight back!
Our unions are under attack! What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Occupy! People over profit.
Why would anyone be outside of 12 News?
Occupy the media!
Occupy the media!
Mic check.
Mic check!
Well, my name is Lisa, and I am part of a working group out of Occupy Phoenix. National Community Press. And
Arizona.
Arizona
What was that?
Sorry. Arizona Community Press. We used to work with the National Community Press too. And we're out here to speak about the importance of independent media and Occupy. Can you hear me?
Yes!
Louder? Okay, I'll try to speak louder. Is that better?
Yes!
Alright. So one of the huge successes coming out of the Occupy movement is more folks taking back the media in the form of blogs, websites, TV and radio shows, podcasting, live streaming. You're seeing some of the live streaming out here today. It has happened because people wanted to make sure that these stories in different perspectives were being represented in the media. Something that many feel places like Channel 12 and Arizona Republic are not doing.
That's right.
Over the last decade, especially this past year, people are beginning to take back the media by cleaning the media and becoming citizen journalists.
Yeah.
I think many of you out here today, And through the use of social media, when there is breaking news from the streets about actions or events, it's a great way, continues to be a great way to spread the news about what's happening. And some examples might be of what we're seeing that is not being broadcasted by mainstream media like Channel 12 and Arizona Republic is what's happening in places like Italy with mass civil disobedience in the streets. And also places like Greece, Spain, where workers are speaking out. Am I too loud? I'm hearing the noise. Okay, I'm hearing a squeaking noise. And and I think one great example of where Occupy live streaming and independent media was special beneficial and may have actually saved someone's life was back in Oakland last year when Skull Olson event was hit with a canister that was being propelled from the police. And he was actually missing for a few hours. But thanks to things like live streaming, people around the world found out what was happening instantaneously. And that's one of the benefits of independent media and Occupy.
Yeah.
With independent voices is an opportunity to tell stories which are not being represented. It's a place where you do not need to buy advertising to have your voices heard. You are all the media out here today, even though you may not think you are. Here in Arizona, out of Occupy came things like Occupy Tucson Citizen, Indigenous Action Media, which was already functioning, and here in Phoenix, we have a place for people to represent their voices through Arizona Community Press, and it's a place for you to report your stories, report the unreported things that you feel are missing out of the media. If we are, as a society, another important thing about independent media is if we are a society to be equal and treated as equal, we must also have a balanced voice in the media, which is currently not happening. It's extremely important that we not receive our news information from corporate profit-driven media, like what we're standing out in front of today, but from a variety of sources. Currently, most people are getting their news just from a handful of sources. And unfortunately, that is ownership is only corporate media is in only a handful of people today. Now, many people, because they're just fed up, frustrated, are getting a lot of their news through Facebook, form of social media, or they're just putting down the newspapers and hoping to find what they need on the internet. For those who are fed up, there is a solution. As the saying goes, it's been going on forever. The saying through media has been going on for decades. Don't hate the media, become the media.
Yeah!
It is time to have media that represents us all. And before we move on to our next stop, I was wondering if we could all mic check Arizona 12 and Arizona Republic. I'd like y'all to shout out what stories you don't think are being covered, but that should. Does anybody have any?
Palestine.
Mic check.
Mic check.
What stories are not being represented?
Syria. Palestine. Syria.
Afghanistan. We're talking about Syria. Let's do like mic check and then someone shouts one out, alright?
Mic check.
Mic check.
Bradley Manning.
Bradley Manning.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Syria.
Syria.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Monsanto.
Monsanto.
Mic check.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Mic check.
Mic check. Walmart.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Julian Assange.
Julian Assange.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Third-party presidential candidate.
Mic check.
Mic check.
The Undocubus.
The Undocubus.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Freeport McMoran.
Freeport McMoran. Mic check.
Concentration of wealth.
Concentration of wealth.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Isaac School Board.
Isaac School Board.
The liver scandal.
The liver scandal.
Occupy financial aid. Education is important to everybody.
Woo!
Financial aid, if you think about it.
Occupy financial aid.
Not financial aid. You heard that word.
So real quick, we are going to Freeport right now. That is a huge company here. They got the top 12. Well, let's go to Freeport.
Yeah!
To Freeport!
Onward to Freeport!
Freeport. Now the bomb's flying. Now the bomb's flying.
There's people already there.